Hello and welcome back to the Grooms course. Today we're going to be going over just basic grooming, and I realize I am grooming a basically clean horse. This is because it's been pretty cold and wet here at the same time, and I really wanted to get this Grooms course going, so I had blanketed my horse due to the weather because he lives outside. He does have option of shelter for all of the rest of you that are interested or worried. But I basically took his blanket off and went and recorded the video. So the information in the video is still completely relevant, even though I'm not exactly cleaning off a dirty horse. Which ended up being good because cleaning off a dirty horse entails a lot of dust and dirt in the air. And that would have gotten on the camera lens, and it would have just made everything just kind of really hard to watch. Due to the dust and the dirt flying everywhere. So later when the weather lets up and it becomes spring and he's just absolutely a mud monster, I will do a mud monster cleanup video for you guys so that you can see how these techniques work on the muddiest horse you can you can think of. So thank you for watching, and I want to tell you that this video and the unpaid version of this series, so the free version, is brought to you by my husband, Nick. We had talked about this course being paid, and I wanted to let you guys know that during the horse welfare side of this entire series, he wanted to make it very free to the public, so this video and the rest of them are sponsored by him. So please, let's get into this, and I think you should have a good time watching. So with regular grooming, we want to start out with our curry. So we'd use this strip hair curry because I love it. It's extremely useful. You want to approach the horse at the shoulder. Hello? Yeah? Tell me he's a good boy. And just let them know that you're there. And I like to start grooming at the shoulder. And here you can either use the strip hair groomer like this or like this. You don't want to do circles with this particular groomer. It does heat up the skin, which in this case, since he's cold and it's cold out, this is perfect. And you want to look for things like this, which just looks like a bite that's healing. It's not rain rot or anything. You want to be polite because I don't have him tied or anything. Oh, yeah. When it comes to legs, you want to just use, this side and then go down nicely. If there's mud, you still use that side because they have very sensitive skin right there. And you want to make sure that the horse is comfortable being touched all around before you do any of this. I'm doing his belly. And what I'm looking for here is any kind of skin problems, skin irritations or issues, whether or not he's rubbing his tail. What does it look like under there? Looks pretty good, considering. I want to get any crusties off within reason. since he doesn't really need the curry that much, I didn't curry him that much, because as you can see, he is pretty much clean because of his blanket. It's very windy fall, almost winter day. So again, approach at the shoulder. And this is the Schimmel brush. I use it to get all of the stuff that's underneath the coat next to the skin off, or up to the top, so it doesn't look like it's necessarily cleaning the coat. Sometimes it actually looks like it's getting it more dirty, but the big thing that it's doing is it is getting the dirt from next to the skin underneath your fur up on top, so that the next brush can really do its job. And this is the only brush that I will do this with, to get all of the gunk and stuff off of his joints and fetlocks. But I'm pressing down with a moderate amount of pressure, and I'm doing long strokes that kind of flick at the end. Flick at the end is important. I'm basically just making sure that all of the hairs are settling in the right spot, because if they don't, doing his belly, if they don't, that could show a skin issue, or you know, the hairs are just more oily or too dry. Yeah, I'm also looking for any kind of muscle soreness, and I keep an eye on his ears and his body language, because if, at least with him, because he's not shut down and disassociated with the world, he will tell me if something hurts, which is ideal. You can see, like, that is almost even just going away, that stain. Like, I don't treat stains until after I brush, because these brushes really, sometimes the stain will just completely go away with the Schimmel brush and then the next brush. This is very coarse brush. I thought too coarse for my horse, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. And he loves it, because he gets itched. Yeah, okay. It's like, Mom, that was too much. I do want to check right at the base, right underneath their fetlock at the base of their hoof, for any problems like scratches. And so here, so he's pretty good here. You can see how his muscle just kind of gives way underneath of my light pressure. And this kind of does, but this right here is rock hard, and then it gets softer by his tail. So this is one of the hamstrings right here, and it goes down into the muscle and the pelvis. And this hamstring is very tight. This is a stabilization hamstring that is used to carry and stop. These hamstrings right here can also be used right here, which are also right now very tight. He stores a lot of stress in his hamstrings. A lot of horses do. But that's something that I need to know for future. So this is the Lipizzaner brush. And this is the brush. It's short, tight-packed horsehairs. And what it does is it takes the mud and stuff that was broken up by the curry and then brushed to the top by the Schimmel brush. It takes it and then it brushes it off. So this is actually taking it completely off the coat and into the air, basically. This is a softer brush, so I'm a little more confident doing his face. So I'll politely be like, hey Bob, let's get your head up, please. Thank you. Let's do your head. Yeah, I know. I'm not rough with every horse like this, but with him, he likes, don't bite me. He'll actually lean into this, which he is. Yeah? Thank you. Good boy. So I'll give him a tidbit because he was good. Under his chest. And I'll only go down to his knee and hock with this. Because it really only needs it. I mean, unless we're filming or he's showing or it's super, super dirty down there, I don't really go that far with the Lipizzaner brush. You see, look, there's a kind of a bounce. That means his skin isn't tight, his fascia is looser on the belly. I kind of feel around, make sure that all of the hair is laying the way it should, not clumping. So here, and I only recommend this in horses you know, and you know won't be offended by this. Yep, there. I'll go get his belly button. Oh, are you okay? So he doesn't usually do that. Something sensitive. You okay? So we'll keep that in note. He doesn't usually get offended when I touch his belly button, but something might be bothering him on his skin. Didn't feel anything, but he gave me a dirty look. So keep that in mind. Now, it's fine to have some little tufts here. That tends to happen because they'll lay down and then they'll rub up against it. Some of the hairs might get damaged. That's okay, it's part of life. And I know I'm only doing the one side of him. I don't want to keep moving him around. So this is the Haas finishing brush. And this is to polish the coat. I know many people don't bother with finishing brushes or finishing the coat, polishing it, unless they're at show. But I like to do this at least once a week, if not every time, because it will polish the coat to where it's more water resistant. So it'll take his own natural oils and it will make sure that they can work as designed and keep him more water resistant. You like it here? Yeah. He likes this brush. It's always been his favorite. brush a little bit extra here because that's the line where his coat is. You can actually tell it's almost a completely different color between when he's, yeah. Oh, you're fine. You're okay, bub. He's a little spooky. It's because it's windy. And he hasn't been worked. And he's outside because he lives outside. Under the belly. A little darker here. I know he keeps a lot of, like, there's a lot of dirt that settles there. It's not going to bother me. There we go. But yeah, you can see a difference between the muscle. It's right here. It's very stiff. There you go. That's nice. Yeah. So he looks like he's sore. He seems very offended when I touch there, and he's spooky. So that can also mean that he's not used to this thing being on my head, and he might be in a little bit of soreness in there. I don't think it's outright pain, because he would be way more offended when I touch it. I have seen him in pain, and it's not nice. So let's do hooves. Yeah? It's alright. Will you let me pick this up, Bob? So since he is loose, don't poop on your hay. Since he is loose, which I normally have him loose because I have this luxury of being able to use an open stall for this. If he moves out of the way, I'll give him his room. It's just consent. It's just consent. So like, okay, this is happening, bub. Yeah? Are you good with that? No? I'll just let him take his mental break if he needs it. This is not fear, this is just allowing him some consent. I don't have anything on me, bub. And sniff. Yeah? Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now, good hoof care is important. It is utmost important. Because, no hoof, no horse, right? So what I'm checking for when I'm picking hoofs out is I'm smelling it. If it smells bad, like kind of sickening sweet, that is thrush, and it needs to be taken care of. You want to make sure that the corns right here are cleaned out, because that's where thrush likes to live. We're near the frog, because this is the frog, central sulcus. He has a very open central sulcus on purpose. So that is that. So he looks good, he smells good. Let's do the next one. And I'm also feeling the temperature of each hoof. So this hoof is a bit warm. And and he seems a little offended when I get it. Central sulcus. So, might be something going on here. Might be the hoof, might be the leg. He's not obviously, oh yeah, I know. It's not lame and he's not obviously swollen. I'll get a few of them in my pocket. This one's too long. I'll break it. Good boy. I know some people will say, no? Some people will say I'm giving him too much leeway. Shouldn't be giving him treats just for grooming, but he's being good. And it's just like a thanks for allowing me to do this. Can I go on the other side? I'm right here. So slide in. There. Now this hoof is the same temp, so I'll see if he's offended with the back end. So it just might be he's having some trouble with his hind end, which is understandable because he goes around like a maniac and stops really fast. Come here. So he knows I'm there. Thank you. It is important to talk to him, to the horses, because you get to know them as a groom, and you really want to make sure that they are acting within their personality and their usual nature. Because if they are acting outside of that, then there's a problem. Not having a good day, something's going on. So this hoof smells like there's some thrush in there. You can see that white. That's what happens when thrush start to eat away at the hoof. It gets black if it's on. Hey, bub. It's okay. Let me clean it. Ah, whoo. No. Okay. There. Yeah, good boy. And be very, very mindful of if they want to put it down all of a sudden. They might either be out of balance, they might be hurting, in pain, whatever. Yeah, I know. And now we have access to this side, if he stays there. So for good hoof care, well, we'll do the other side first. So let's get our curry. Is it okay if we go the other side? No? So right now he's telling me, he's like, oh, let's not go to the other side right now. He's trying to figure out that if he just stands there, I might give him a treat. He's still 5.5. And we haven't been doing this this grooming at Liberty that long. I used to tie him all the time and he would get very nervous. He no longer gets nervous when he's tied, but I do want him to be able to communicate with me. Let me put my finger up your nose. Is this okay? No? It's okay, Bo. Sometimes he just wants to do this. He's not always a snuggle bug, but today he is. bring you over here. You have so much more to eat. Come here. Yeah, there you go. So, we're starting on the other side. This is a lovely sensation for a lot of horses. With his winter coat, I can do this. Summer coat, he doesn't like that as much. Break that up. Under the belly. Because this has been scientifically shown, you can look on their website, to heat up the skin. Just get all of that extra circulation going. Because this tool was originally meant to be a therapeutic tool to get circulation going. And then they found out that it was grooming the horses, so they started selling it as a grooming tool. Hilariously enough. You know, sometimes that does happen with inventions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and kind of heat up, because this is how it really heats up the area. Heat up the area around this sore muscle, as long as he tolerates it. I'm watching him, because this is sore. No, it's not as hard as the other side. Yeah. So this is way softer. I'm going to go to the other side, see if he'll tolerate me. Come over here, Bubby. Just nice and light. I'm just going to get some of the fascia loosened up and some increase in circulation there. Because if you can't walk them around like today, I could. I'm going to get blasted by wind. I don't want that. So I'm just going to use this tool. I can like feel it heating up. Just heat up the area. And this muscle right here too. It's just on this side. So he probably just stopped funny. Slipped on this side maybe, because he's, you know, being silly or something. And now he's got sore muscles. I got sore muscles. And he's only 5.5, so I mean, any age can get sore muscles, because it's just a process of using it and the muscle rebuilding it. What we want to focus on as, yeah, because this is way different. See, look at this. See the squishy? It's hard to tell, I guess, unless you're feeling it, but be careful, as you are directly behind the horse in this case. So he's, I don't know, he's got a little bit of breakage here. I'll keep paying attention to that. Another day, we'll go back and wash this tail. And we'll go through winter washing, since it is winter. Summer washing is pretty standard. Hey, yeah, can I be on this side still? I'll do this. Yep. So since he's not walking away, it is consent. He is loose, ready to go. He's got something to do, because he gets, you know, something for his mouth to do. But as you can see, if he's really not interested, he will move away. Regardless of food. So, yeah. When he starts drifting away, that's when I start like, okay, he's had enough. And you can see how I take this and like pull away to kind of get at the stains. And with each horse is a little different. They carry their tension in different places. Carries a little bit of tension here. So I know that, but it's never been enough tension for him to give me a dirty look or move away, etc. He has had problems with tension here and tension here. When he had an SI issue, it was tension all over, but he has a very well-developed hind end for dressage. And since he uses it in the field, as he should, he moves very correctly, and he's still gaining muscle. Yeah. He will get sore in those muscles. If you have a dressage horse that you're working, they will get sore in the same muscles if they're doing it properly. If they're not doing it properly and they're getting sore on their forehand too much, I mean, they will get sore in certain areas, then it is likely they're not using their hind end properly. So I do this. If I'm going to use the Schimmel brush on the tail, it's only at the top. Just to get down in there. Hopefully to the skin, but even the Schimmel brush I don't think can get all the way to the skin and the tail hairs. Just brush out that breakage just to smooth it out. There. I don't want to go too much, because if you try to brush out the tail too much without a spray in the winter, he'll get all staticky. The next Lipizzaner brush. Can I still groom you, bub? Yeah? He knows all these brushes. We've been using them for his life. You can see that stain is going away. It's just his natural oils. And these brushes bring them out. So I have, after a lifetime of using synthetic brushes, the cheap ones, and finally spending a little bit extra money trying out these nicer ones that are horsehair, there is no comparison. Is there something? Oh, yeah. Can I still do this? Okay. He kind of raised himself up a little bit when I did that, so he's probably a little sensitive. Do you need water? Or itchy. Is this okay? Oh yeah, that feels good. You're just itchy. So you want to be careful if they're sensitive in their belly area. They could be itchy or they could be hurting. So it could indicate signs of colic, so you be careful. If you are a groom and they are showing signs of colic, let somebody know immediately. And don't, like I would say don't allow, but a lot of the times grooms don't have that power. Suggest that they not get worked and that they are walked only without a rider to see if they can get their gut moving again. So we'll finish up with the finishing brush. And then I will get him some water, because silly me, I forgot to get access to water. And he's on all this dry forage. And that's another thing. If I have the luxury of being able to do this in an open stall, I will make sure that they have access to water. Clean, fresh water that I drew that day. You okay, bub? Yeah? You see he didn't twitch, he just kind of moved. I think he was reacting to more of a sound than anything. Okay. Let's get you some water, Bobby. There. Itchy? Here. Here. Yeah, you were thirsty. We can't have you being thirsty. Before we put his blanket back on is baby powder. This really helps keep his skin dry where he might sweat. Thank you. I don't do the expensive stuff unless he has a skin condition or it's actively moist and I need that bentonite clay to kind of really help. Can I come around? No? Okay. Can I come around on this side and we'll just do it a little bit here. That'll be fine. So he doesn't want me to be on that side. So I will be mindful of that. And that's that. We'll put his blanket back on, wait for him to finish eating, and then we'll put him back outside. So that is basic grooming for, so that was basic grooming for the groom and horse owner. Like I said, this is basic. This is just, you know, everyday kind of deal. We'll get into the show stuff later. This is also basic hoof care and prevention of things for the hooves. So that's what we've got. I hope to see you guys later in some of the future videos that we have going in this series. All right, thanks. No? Is that? I know as a groom, you won't necessarily have the time to do this, but if you're a horse owner, I would definitely say this is a good way to bond with your horse. Are you sleepy? She bite me. Do you like that? You're nuts. Yeah. Do you like me messing with your nose? You don't usually. Don't bite. No. For curry, schimmel, lipizzaner, and finishing. He is now cleaner. So what I would do is if there were any significant urine stains, which since he lives outside, there generally isn't, I'll use this. It is the Elite Equine Evolution Waterless Argan Oil Shampoo. So this is really good in the winter because it has so much argan oil in it that it has a lower freezing temp. Is that it? Yeah, lower freezing temp. So it doesn't freeze like a lot of other things. It has less water in it. Other things that have more water in it, I will bring home just to keep it, you know, defrosted. So if I need to use it, I can just bring it to the barn. But, yeah, I mean, if you're living in luxury, then you don't have to if you have a heated area. But most barns in the United States do not, which I'm not judging. It's fine. It's expensive to try to heat someplace. But let's take care of that hoof that has some thrush in it. So for thrush, we'll go through all the hooves actually. For thrush, I use the clometrazole cream, 1% antifungal cream. It works really well. It's like almost a one and done, but don't treat it like that. You should always sniff and smell for thrush. For some prevention, since the other ones are okay, but I like to prevent, the Hoof Flex Natural. Gotta be natural, because that's the only one that has the tea tree oil in it. And that tea tree oil is the ingredient that you want. So, get this. Usually put it in my teeth, because that's where I do it. Judge me you as much as you want. Excuse me, bud. Can I have your hoof? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Try to get it as clean as possible, but I totally understand if you can't. Excuse me, bub. Okay, we're gonna get this out of my mouth. Get this cap back on. Toss this in there, or next to there. Hey, I'm right here, bub. You gotta do all your hooves. Hey yo, hey yo. I'm right here. No, hey. Why are you doing that? Let's start on this side. Are you gonna let me do it? No? Itchy? Oh, thank you. Hey-o. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Mm-mm. Hey, 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 hey. Come here. Come here. Can I get your back legs? Come here. Will you let me do your back? So he's not ready for me to approach right now, so I'll just watch. And this will eventually turn into him just standing still. Remember, he is only 5.5 years old. I am saying that I know this eventually will turn into him standing still just about anywhere, is because I've gotten so many horses to that point. But they need to know that they have an opinion. There's some loud noise and the wind's kicking up, so he's just a little worried. You worried? No, you're not so worried that you... Okay. Can I do this? Can I? Please? Thank you. Okay. So you want to make sure that it is all over the frog. And in areas that it can have thrush, and I usually put it outside around the quarters of a heel. Thank you. You're a good boy. Thank you. Oh. Do you not want a treat? Did you just eat something that's funny? Got one more hoof bub. So if you take the time to do this and give them informed consent, basically. He knows what I'm doing because we have done this for the past 4.5 years. He knows what's up. But I want to give him enough informed consent that he's like, I'm not feeling it. That when I do absolutely have to do it. Did you get something in your mouth? When I do absolutely have to do it and it is an emergency, he actually just lets me do it. But he reads the room. You read the room? Okay. Can I go around? Why? Oh, hey, oh, are you okay? Did your tummy hurt? Why? Can I go around? Thank you. Well, he's eating fine. He's eating fine. So he doesn't seem to be colicking, but he definitely has some tension around his tummy. This is alfalfa hay, so it should be, you should be okay. So I wanted to get a little bit more into seeing signs of colic. I wasn't necessarily intending on getting into that for this video, but I wanted to tell you about how grooming with consent is good in the fact that the horse is able to kind of communicate to you what's wrong. Because in this particular... Right now I kind of wanted to go over a little bit of... So I want to talk about some signs of colic, and what I saw with Revan in this video, I wasn't necessarily intending on going through this, but due to the weather and due to how he was acting during this time, I did want to kind of explain this a little bit more. But when it comes to grooming with consent, this means the horse is allowed to communicate with you, and in a very like kind of safe space, safe manner. Because of this, Revan is clearly communicating to me that he is uncomfortable when I touched his flank and around his belly, which was uncharacteristic of him specifically. A horse that I wouldn't know, I would say, okay, there's a lot of possibilities here. They're just either not habituated to touching everywhere. They could be, you know, having this problem or that problem, who knows. But since I know him, and grooms, if you are working as a groom, you will get to know the horses that you're grooming, so then you can see what is uncharacteristic of them. And then you can let the correct level of management in your barn know. And for horse owners, this is also good to understand, like, what are they always like? What are they used to being like? So when they portray behaviors like that, you need to kind of look into like, okay, why are they portraying an uncharacteristic behavior? Why are they uncomfortable? Why do they not want you to touch that area? So that is why I groom my horse with consent, is because I want to know why he's acting a certain way, and what's going on so that I can kind of treat it or fix it. It's very easy for a lot of, I guess you could call normal horse people that don't groom with consent, to just assume, oh, he's being bad. I should correct that right away. I'm not going to let him get away with that. And that's a mistake, because horses are ultimately honest creatures. They have no reason to lie to us. So when you are observing these behaviors, it's either because they have been habituated to be angry about things, they don't like being handled by people due to one factor or another, or they are in pain. Knowing Revan, he thinks everybody is his friend, and he's usually in a good mood when he's feeling good. But when he's feeling kind of meh, there's usually a reason. I mean, when he's basically a potato, it's probably because he ran around the other day and he's pretty sore. But I want to know where he's sore and why he's sore. So if it's in his psoas, which is typical for him, that means that he is stabilizing his hips really well with the correct muscle, because that psoas muscle is what needs to be used instead of other muscles around it. Granted, he doesn't use his glutes enough, but we're working on that. But it's typically, that kind of goes hand in hand, specifically with him, with the fact that he loves to run around and then he stops short at fences. So he runs around and around, and then he stops short at fences, and then I see that he's sore the next day. And that's not necessarily a problem. That means he's working himself out, and I don't really have to try that hard to keep him in shape. But it's also me knowing that I have to be understanding of this. If your horse is sore and they don't move around, there's other issues. If your mare is uncharacteristically sore in her lumbar area, you may start looking into maybe like a horse version of PCOS or even tumor somewhere. Same thing with geldings, but kind of in a different area. But we don't need to go into that completely here. But I did want to extrapolate on the situation that was going on. Revan was fine. I didn't even notify anybody because he was pooping, drinking, eating just fine. He was just a little bit down and a little bit sore, so I put that second blanket on to kind of warm him up and warm up the area so that it can get better blood flow to it. And I mean, he was probably just shivering for a little while, and I came that day, so warmed him back up and he was just fine. And I recorded this right around Thanksgiving, so it's been quite a few, but it's been a few weeks since then, and he's been just fine, and he's gotten back to his energetic old self. So Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful time.